Blurry background, the thing everyone wants in their photos and videos but just doesn't know how to get. Maybe you've always wondered how people get that beautiful blurred out background in their YouTube videos, and want to know how hard it would be for you to do the same. It's not really as complicated as it seems, and doesn't even require any tricks in software. Thanks to the Canon 50mm lens, aka the Nifty 50, you can blur video backgrounds with ease, and it won't even cost you much money. The lens is quite small, making it a great lens if you want to keep your setup mobile. It's a prime lens, so that means you won't be getting any zoom. But honestly, most affordable zoom lenses don't offer nearly as nice of an image quality, or let in half as much light. With a focal length of 50mm, you get a pretty zoomed in field of view when using cameras with APS-C sensors like the Canon T6i or 80D. Your new focal length becomes about 75mm on these cameras, so you'll need to back up quite a bit if you're trying to film yourself. This can become somewhat of a hassle when shooting alone, because you'll need to have a pretty significant distance between yourself and your camera. One of the benefits of this focal length, however, is the ability to easily create shots with a shallow depth of field. Shallow depth of field, or bokeh shots, can easily be created with this lens because of its wide aperture of f1.8 combined with its very zoomed in focal length. This lens can also let in a ton of light for those same reasons, meaning you can work with available lighting far more often and won't always need to set up lights. Perhaps my biggest criticism of this lens is the fact that it doesn't have image stabilization, so if you want to film handheld, you'll need to buy some type of stabilizer or rig. It's honestly a shame the lens doesn't have image stabilization because Canon has included this feature on even their cheapest kit lenses. However, considering this lens's remarkably low price of $125, it's honestly hard to really complain. This lens employs Canon's STM focusing system, so that means this lens will be compatible with all of Canon's dual-pixel autofocus cameras like the Canon 80D or C100. This is definitely a great feature for people who own these cameras, but for everyone else, you'll have to deal with a lens that won't close unless the camera is turned on, and won't be compatible with any follow focus systems because of the fact that turning the focus ring doesn't actually physically change the focus. This means you can spin the focus ring as many times as you'd like, and it won't break. The build quality of this lens is actually quite good when you consider the price. The version of this lens that came before was notorious for its low build quality, cheap plastic construction, and all-around ugly design. Fortunately, this iteration of the lens is built quite well, out of a very sturdy feeling piece of plastic that definitely doesn't feel cheap. I have no doubt this lens will continue to work well for a really long time. Being an EF rather than EFS lens means this camera will be compatible with Canon's entire range of DSLRs, unlike the EFS lenses which only work with Canon's crop frame cameras. So whether you're shooting with a Canon 5D or a T5i, you'll be able to use this lens no problem. In conclusion, while this lens may be lacking in some areas like stabilization or having a finicky focus ring, it still more than makes up for those flaws by providing both superb image quality and beautiful depth of field. For $125, you simply cannot beat this lens. So if you shoot Canon, save yourself the hassle of all those cheap Chinese lenses and buy yourself this little beast of a lens. For all things technology and media production, stay tuned to Erickson Films.